Hi. So I'm currently in Venice, and I just lost my job. So I'm doing the only logical thing to do in a situation like this, which is just get the fuck away from wherever you are and book the cheapest flight. And that's what I'm gonna do all summer. So my summer started feeling messy, but couldn't care less because I waited so long for it to be summer again. The cheapest flight got me to Malta today, and after a quick TikTok search, I understood the vibe and got a drink or free on the way there. So I just arrived, and I thought there was the quickest boarding off. I don't know, getting off the plane that I ever experienced. It was so quick. I literally arrived 10 minutes ago. We landed 10 minutes ago, and I'm already out. I did my research. So apparently, they speak Maltese here. I didn't even know there was a language, but English is the official language too. So yeah. Once I arrived there, I went to the main strip in St. Julian's right away. The entire town is like super quiet until you get there. Then it just got super crowded. And for some reasons there were loads of cops. I found out the next day it was because a building collapsed. Anyways, I first checked out the clubs that seemed to be busy, but the music was just not it. Nowhere the sticky floors. I ended up in a club that had really good music, but it was empty. So I waited for it to get busier. So our initial plan was really good, but it's already midday, and I'm low-key lazy, especially because I wanted to go early in the morning. So it's not too busy, but yeah, I kind of missed out on that now. So I have no clue what our plan is. Yeah, I didn't even drink that much last night. But I also didn't sleep a lot. And the clubs were super busy, but the music was hella shit. Yeah, it was incredibly shitty. And it was like kind of too busy. Like you can't dance for 5 seconds without somebody pushing you away. And I'm short. So that happens quite often. It's super annoying. So the next morning I got a smoothie and went on a walk to discover the town. I ended up at Cinema Beach, where I worked on my tan and went for a quick swim. Unfortunately, there aren't any proper sand beaches close by. I then ended up booking a parasailing trip with the little tour guide stands they have all over town. I walked to the boarding point not far from St. Julian. We got on a speedboat and they opened the parasail with this cute smiley on it. To be honest, it was quite slow, which gave me loads of time to overthink everything and panic, but the view was definitely worth it. I then walked back and passed by this tree full of chickens. Apparently that's a landmark. And once it got dark, I went for dinner at this Mexican restaurant that seemed quite busy. A few days later, I got on the next cheapest flight to Vienna. Hi! Welcome back to part 2 of taking the cheapest flight till I run out of money. I ended up in Vienna, and I'm only staying here for the day. I'm leaving tomorrow morning again. Yes, and I have no clue what to do today because it's super hot and I'm in the city without beach access. I mean, it can't be without beach access. So fucking tired. I'm starting to feel like I'm too old to be traveling like this, because why the fuck am I 23 mean I can't go out 2 nights in a row.
So without much of a plan, I headed to the center and went for a quick shopping trip. I found this huge outlet or thrift shop or whatever that was, and then just walked lost around the city for a while. Until I made my way to the museum quarter and ended up at this art gallery auction house. I'm not really sure what it is. However, it had this beautiful wall and ceiling art. It just gave me such heavenly vibes. But I didn't really find the entrance. Or maybe that's just it. I'm not 100% sure. But once I left again, I nearly got run over by a horse for a picture and ended up at the fanciest Burger King I've seen so far for a quick snack. Later I took the city train to get to Palm House in Schönbrunn. There were quite a few botanical gardens around, and you can even save quite a lot of money if you book a combi ticket. But it closed quite early and I didn't have all the time. It's funny how I went from being outside every night in Malta to boomer activities, but it was actually super relaxing. I spent some time there crying to the moon because men never bring me palms until I got kicked out as they were closing already. I then went back to the city center and ended up trying a food spot I saw on TikTok called Tiramisu. They had a variety of tiramisu flavors, but I ended up going with a pretty classic raspberry tiramisu. Later that evening, I tried to find a bar and walked all the way to the 9th floor to a rooftop bar that ended up only having a standing spot at the bar, so I left again. Instead, I went to Sky Bar just a few minutes away, which was quite the opposite of the previous bar, because it was empty, but they had a really nice view and the service was great. My next and last destination of this vlog was Malaga. I got there shortly before sunset and headed to the best or only sunset spot I could find. But as Malaga faces east, I had to go on a little hike to get to watch the sunset.
Okay, so, hi. I just got something to Malaga. I'm actually quite proud of myself that I didn't miss a single flight before. Yeah. And the first thing I'm doing is obviously hiking up the mountain. The hill. I think it's some sort of a hill or a mountain. Why does it look so high? Wait, am I actually hiking up there? I don't think so. At least I hope not. Because I just wanna have a nice view over the sunset. I'm not very dress appropriate to go hiking. Yeah. Yeah, in worst case I'll just take pictures here, but it shouldn't be too long. It's only 3 kilometers, so okay. Oh. I'm still not sure if it's actually on top of there because that's quite a lot to walk. I'm going to panic because why am I the only person here? And why am I hearing things? Well, so yeah, I think we're getting somewhere up there, and that's a shortcut that we are taking. I don't care about my shoes right now. Oh my gosh. I just hope I don't die. Ooh. Ooh. Hey, 1 step, 2 steps. Oh, okay. We're definitely getting there. I'm making it survive. Oh my god, I'm dying. Look at us. Oh. Photoshop exists for a reason. Ooh. I was totally out of breath until I arrived, but the view was more than worth it. And luckily there were some people I could follow on the way down to not get eaten by a fox or something. Once I got back,
I tried to find a restaurant that served vegetarian paella, but they also serve paella for 2 people, so I ended up going for Mexican instead. The next day, I woke up early and got on my way to the beach. The Uber driver, for some reason, dropped me off quite far away, so I had to walk there. The beach there was quite rocky, but the views were really nice. I spent my day there and went for a walk.
Okay, so I think I have to take back the Google reviews are fake. It actually is a beautiful beach if you look at it from far away. I think I was just at the ugly part and there were so fucking, oh my god, many birds, and I'm fucking afraid of birds. Look! Oh yeah. It does actually look quite nice. And I love when the instructors ask for pictures of our trains. So they took the pictures and all 3 are perfect.
Once I got back to Malaga, I went for a walk to the city and wanted to visit Alcazaba, but the queue was huge and I just couldn't be asked. So I ended up accidentally at the museum nearby. I didn't actually go in, but they had this super cute patio where I sat and waited until it was time to get to the pier, as I booked a catamaran tour. I was hoping to get to see some dolphins, but unfortunately we didn't. I then went for dinner at the Moreto, which is an Italian restaurant, and got a drink before heading to a club that some girls in the restaurant actually recommended. I had a Moroccan girl that was there by herself too. So I spent the evening dancing before going to bed. And with that, I'm ending this vlog. See you next time.